Hello and welcome. 48 hours to go for the India England game, 24 hours to go for the South Africa versus New Zealand game, and it's time to set things up. And by the way, happy Holi to everybody. Not the best Holi with what is going on in the Middle East, not the best Holi for sure. People are stranded, the flights aren't working yet, the airports are still shut. A lot of lives have been thrown in disarray. The economy in the global economy that is in real difficult strife. We don't know when this war will end. So, not really the most festive of occasions. Having said that, happy Holi to everybody. We all hope, because the world can live in hope, that things will get better. Things will get better, and hopefully, we will have better times in the days ahead. Coming back to the matches at hand, West Indies versus India, set it up in a manner that England versus India becomes critical. I did a So when I look at this matchup, India versus England, what's the one area where I think India is going badly wrong, and that is fielding. Tomorrow you will see an interview with R. Sridhar, the former fielding coach of the Indian national team, who was with Sri Lanka most recently in the T20 World Cup. And we had a detailed conversation on Abhishek Sharma, on Varun Chakravarti, on the dropped catches, what is going wrong, what India can do to rectify these deficiencies. Is there a short term fix? Is there a long term fix? You will hear that interview tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning. But let me say this: the one area of concern, and that is a fact, is the Indian fielding. Multiple catches have been dropped in the recent past, and all of us know that 22 plus catches in the India England series, 12 catches. 12 catches went down in the Asia Cup, and now in this World Cup also 7 or 8 catches have already gone down. Proshenjit Mitra, very difficult times. Being in such a situation is tough. Show must go on. I agree with you, but I also agree with the resilience. I mean, you've been excellent. You've been excellent. You've been excellent. That's the resilience, Proshenjit. But I totally endorse. It is absolutely not easy to be in a situation like this. Absolutely not easy to be in a situation like this. I mean, my thoughts and my prayers go out to families and people stranded, and I just hope things get better, Proshenjit, and to with you and your family. So yes, I mean, fielding remains a major area of concern, and when you kind of drop such catches, when the ball is, it's a sitter, right? It's a sitter for whatever reason. Your mind is cluttered, it is going down, and then that second catch. When I asked this of R. Sridhar, let me give you a little bit of detail on this, and then I will analyze the India England, and then I will analyze New Zealand versus South Africa as well. And Shomik joins me there. Shomik joins me from outside the Wankhede. He was part of the England training. Let me quickly cut across to Shomik and understand a little bit from him about the England training, what transpired. And he was also part of the England press conference, what transpired there. Shomik, over to you, reporting back from India again after your 25-day trip to Sri Lanka. What is it like? What is England practice like? Is there tension? What are you sensing? Give me a lowdown from the England practice and what transpired in the press conference.
They're very relaxed. They're very relaxed even about the Josh Butler situation. Josh Butler, I mean, he's going through a serious bad form, but and four single-digit scores on the spin, but absolutely nobody. I don't know whether what it is like in that dressing room, but at least publicly, nobody seems to be concerned. And the feeling is that the collective feeling is that he's such a great player. It's just one, and his return to form is just one great knock away at during England's practice session, Josh Butler, there is a couple of interesting things. When he faced the spinners, he was completely side on. When he faced the fast bowlers, he opened his stance a bit. Maybe that is keeping Arshdeep in mind, and who will angle the ball across him. And also, um, basically, I think that side on stance against the spinners was keeping Akshar Patel in mind, because Akshar will mostly bring the ball into him. But first, Josh Butler will have to survive the power play. These days, he is not doing that. Sam Curran said we are not concerned. Uh, After England's last match against New Zealand, Harry Brooks said we are not concerned. Josh Butler. The fact of the matter is that Josh Butler likes pace on the pitch. He likes the ball coming onto the bat. and that was the case when he stitched that brilliant stand with Alex Sales in Adelaide. You saw that firsthand, that opening partnership that decimated India. But if you go back to Guyana 2 years ago, on a spin friendly pitch, he struggled. So when the ball is in Sri Lanka, the ball was not coming into the bat. Here, the ball will come into the bat. It's a red soil pitch. The ball will have a better bounce, more bounce, and he knows the conditions here through I mean, by dint of playing so many IPL matches at this venue. I mean, he knows this ground, this venue like the back of his hand. He knows every angle. So this could be George Butler's biggest chance to get back to form. Another interesting aspect was Harry Brook. Harry Brook looked so iffy at the nets. He tried a paddle sweep against Liam Dawson. He top edged it, and it went over the keeper's head for a four. The next ball, he was once again tried a paddle sweep. He missed it completely, and he was bowled. So, but then again, like you don't judge a book by its cover, you don't judge a great player by his nets form. So Harry Brook, also Josh Butler, and uh, make no mistake, they are big match players. They are big match players, and
I agree with
that
you.
game will.
I agree with you. I mean, Josh Butler and Harry Brook, both superb players. And you are very right when you said that Butler knows this ground well. You said you had a look at the wicket. You said it's a red soil wicket. Give me a sense. What is your assessment? Did the press conference, obviously, I'm sure people may have asked at the press conference, what is your sense of the wicket? And also tell me the key points from the press conference.
Key points from the press conference is that one little nugget. I mean, I'm coming to the pitch factor, but one little nugget that Sam Curran was asked about Abhishek Sharma's lane patch, and that whether he would like to see Abhishek Sharma returning to form against on Thursday. He said no, absolutely not. Last time when India played against England, Abhishek Sharma hammered England bowling on his way to a scintillating 100. But Sam Curran hoped that it will not be the case on Thursday, and Abhishek Sharma, he hopes that it will take a. He expects Abhishek Sharma to take a little more time to returning to form, at least not on Thursday. As far as the pitch is concerned, I think first of all, I am not a big fan of that of an extensive narrative as far about the pitch in a T20 game. A pitch doesn't change its nature in 3 hours. Pitch is for the longer format. Still, then again, I expect this one at this moment in time. There is a grass cover on the pitch. Lawnmower will be used, and it would be shaved off. At the end of the day, um, think it will tilt in it will tilt in favor of the batsman a bit more, but the bowlers who can hit the ball into the deck, who can hit the deck hard, and the spinners who can give it a tweak, they will have assistance.
I was speaking to R. Sridhar and I did a long interview with Sridhar. We will play tomorrow on India's fielding because that remains one area of concern. Yeah, dropped catches remain an area of concern. You and I have discussed this on the show multiple times. And I asked him specifically about Abhishek, about Varun, about the dropped catches. I also asked him about that second dropped catch about Abhishek. And I said, what do you do? I mean, Abhishek clearly was in two minds whether should go for the ball, not go. Like he must have been thinking about Washington Sundar. What do situations like this warrant? I mean, what do coaches do? He said, you need to coach without coaching. He said the whole thing is pressure. The whole thing is how you deal with pressure because the first catch 99 times out of 100, Abhishek would have caught that ball. So is he thinking about something else? 68,000 people at the Eden Gardens. Are they going to, are they putting that pressure? The whole idea in situations like this is you have to have a silent word. You cannot coach the boys at this point. And there has to be clear clarity in the change room that if it's a 50-50 catch, should he go for it? Should he not go for it? That clarity has to be given to every player. He says, from a personal standpoint, even if he has missed the catch in Calcutta, I would tell him go for the catch at the Wankhede. That's what you should do. Your thoughts on that before I ask you the final question and let you go?
Totally, Totally agree. And see, as far as fielding and catching are concerned, I always go by Muhammad Azharuddin's prescription. It was simple. You take 200 catches a day, you will develop that sixth sense automatically without the help of a fielding coach when to go for a catch and how to react. Irrespective of the situation, irrespective of pressure, you will have that confidence. So the idea is to take 200 catches. That used to be Azhar's prescription, and I consider him arguably India's greatest ever all-round fielder. Solkar was close in, Tiger Pataudi was outfield, Ravindra Jadeja mostly outfield, but all-round greatest ever all-round fielder as far as I'm concerned is Azhar. And as far as his prescription, take 200 catches a day in different situations. That is your recipe to success.
Beautifully said there, and some very important points coming out from Shomik Chakraborty about fielding and also about what Joss Butler and Harry Brook did at the Nets. Thank you, Shomik. Thank you very much for joining me. I can look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. Been a while since we caught up, so we will try and do dinner tomorrow once I land in Mumbai. Thank you very much for joining me, and enjoy
Thank
the
you.
India practice session, which starts in some time from now. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. Gargi Rao joins me. Gargi, same question. I asked Shomik about the high points. He mentioned Harry Brook and what he was looking like. He mentioned Joss Butler and the special training. And he said Joss Butler is one of those guys who can make this game his own. Mumbai, he's played so many IPL games. Give me a sense. What is it looking like? The mood over there, clamor for tickets. South Bombay hotels are going at incredible prices. Set it up for me. Set up the semi-final.
Let me talk about the mood a little bit before I get to talking about the England practice. It's quite already you can feel the energy that is here around the stadium because people do show up. On India practice days, you will see a lot of fans gathering outside of the stadium to catch a glimpse of the team bus or the players or whatever they can get in those glimpses. But at the same time, Shubhayan also reported on this in the morning that if you go and look at booking.com or any other sites that are selling the hotels at the moment, you will realize that around this area, around the Wankhede area, any of the hotels are going, there is a 50% spike in the rates here. At the same time, Intercontinental, Trident, and all of these hotels that are close to the stadium are running at almost full capacity. So that's the kind of demand that is showing up. And even if you compare the prices from yesterday to today, you will realize that there has been a spike overnight as well. So it tells you just how in demand this particular venue is. And Boria, you are the one who called the shots. So I've been traveling for the entire tournament, covering all of the India games, and very naturally all of us journalists are asked multiple times for tickets, whether or not we have any extra. And this is the most in demand match when we talk about tickets or the requests that I have gotten. Even people who do not live in Mumbai have reached out to me and asked me for tickets. They are saying, can you arrange 4 tickets? Can you arrange 2 tickets? Even one will do. We don't care what stand it is. We don't care about it. We will fly down overnight and we just really want to watch the game because there is always a possibility that this could very well be India's last game in the tournament. So the demand is very, very high. Apart from that, England practice, it was a routine, net session. Shomik, I think, summed up the entire practice session very well. So, and those are the things I would have also spoken about. But Sam Curran, coming out for that press conference and talking about Harry Brook, talking about Joss Butler, who's short of runs at the moment, hasn't had the best of campaigns with the bat. But Will Jacks is the key player here. He had a long bowling and batting session today, and Sam Curran did say that Will Jacks has been amazing throughout the tournament. He scored some crucial runs, and he said that we have been joking in the dressing room that if Will Jacks was a local boy, he would be playing for Mumbai Indians at this moment. So that's the entire thing when it comes to England. Of course, we are all eagerly awaiting the Indian team. It's quite hot out here. It's been very hot throughout the day, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like tomorrow when India practice in the afternoon. The sun is absolutely unforgiving, and only now has a breeze started blowing that you can actually come out and sit because it's been unforgiving, the heat.
Wicket, any thoughts? I mean, what are you sort of getting from people you have spoken? Because clearly at the start of the tournament, it was a difficult wicket. India played there against the US. India struggled. Surya Kumar Yadav saved the day. When England played against, who did they play? England played against Nepal. The wicket
Yes.
was again difficult to bat on. What are you sensing about the wicket?
You know, I had this long conversation with someone, and we were discussing the same fact that if you look at the first half of the tournament, you saw that a lot of wickets were very tricky, especially this Mumbai wicket that was very non-traditional as to what we've been seeing at the Wankhede when we talk about IPL or other bilateral games as well. But that's not going to be the case for semi-final. ICC wants a high scoring run. They want a wicket that is conducive for batting. They want a high scoring, and it will be a high scoring game. I've had a look at the wicket as well, and it's got this green tinge, somewhat like the Eden Gardens. What we saw at the Eden Gardens, that was a brilliant wicket prepared by Shujan Mukherjee. Even the Chepauk wicket was really nice, and that's the kind of wicket that you will also expect at Wankhede. So expect a good scoring match. You expect it to be conducive for batting, and you will see a good contest tomorrow, day after.
And the body language, give me a sense of that. Shomik was very articulate when he said that England's body language looked relaxed. Harry Brook, Joss
Very
Butler,
relaxed.
very relaxed. I mean, they are soaking it in. England, by the way, sixth straight ICC T20 semi-final, third straight semi-final against India. 22 England, 24 India. This is becoming a rivalry in itself, the semi-final. Set it up, give me a sense of England's body language, and also the training schedule for India and what's going to happen in the next 3 years.
And quite funny that India and England have met each other in the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup 3 times. The other thing is, the team who ended up winning this contest also ended up winning the tournament. So it could very well be, if history repeats itself, then you might see whoever wins tonight, wins day after tomorrow, might just go ahead and win the World Cup. So we will keep an eye on that. It's quite interesting how things are turning out to be, have turned out in this World Cup. At the same time, if you talk about the body language, Shaumik is very right. It's very relaxed among the England players. In fact, you know, I was out there on the field a little bit. I watched most of the practice from the press box because you get a better view from here. But I did go out on the ground, and I just heard, you know, Phil Salt was there. I believe Joss Butler was also there. They were at the boundary, and they kept talking to these local net bowlers that had come, and they were giving them a lot of advice. Phil Salt, chatted with this net bowler for quite some time, and he was giving him batting advice. So that's the kind of mood surrounding the England team. These are elite athletes. These are professionals. They've done this many times before, and they know how to handle these situations. And if uh, you know how it is, if you try to put too much pressure on the players, it backfires. So it's important to keep the mood relaxed, especially when it comes to practice sessions, and get a feel of what the conditions are like. When we talk about India's itinerary, so tonight they practice from 7 to 9. It's an optional practice session, so you might not see all of the players come in. Tomorrow they practice in the afternoon from 2 to 5. Not sure why the practice session was pushed from 6 to 7. No idea on that as of yet. Some of our hunches say that it may be because it's festival, or rather maybe not all of the players will show up, which is why it's a shortened practice session. But we'll see how many people show up, how many players show up, and what the practice session will look like. Even at Chennai, there it was quite a short practice session.
So are you because I saw you did a video. Also, are you expecting changes? I saw you discuss this at the 12 noon show with Shubhain and Devashish, which I was watching intently. So two questions on your plate. One, are you expecting any changes in this match? Is Kuldeep Yadav even remotely coming into the reckoning? What are you picking up from speaking to sources? That's question number one. And secondly, is there dew? You reached yesterday, much like in Calcutta, where there was a lot of dew, influenced the call at the toss. 195 chase was not that difficult. Was there dew yesterday? What about the conditions?
I will be able to give a better idea of the dew. after today in the afternoon, when I actually see what it's like on the ground, because it usually happens is that they spray a chemical, so that affects how much dew sits on the grass or sits on the turf, compared to a normal ground like what is behind me. But at the same time, dew will be a huge factor. It's quite, like I said, quite humid. It is very hot in the afternoons, and that sharp dip in temperature will affect dew. So expect dew to play a decisive role in this game. I think toss will be very important. And when we talk about the playing 11, I think India will go unchanged. Uh, I also believe that Kuldeep Yadav, I know a lot of people are talking about him. A lot of people are itching to see him in the playing 11. But I don't think this wicket asks for a Kuldeep Yadav. I think India have got their playing 11 right. You've got an Arshdeep Singh who's doing well. You've got Varun Chakravarti who's spinning magic. And Shivam Dubey, I don't think will need to chip in with the ball much, but Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah have been doing their jobs well. It's been going really well. India has their winning combination. I don't see any changes happening whatsoever. I don't see Kuldeep Yadav coming in.
And the second one, due.
I did speak about it.
So
Yeah.
will it influence the toss, you reckon? Will it
Yes.
influence the toss
Yes.
in like in Calcutta?
I think so. I think it will influence. I think India will want to go ahead and bowl first if they win the toss. This will be an important toss to win. Hopefully, Surya Kumar Yadav goes out there and some luck. Maybe he can take a leaf out of KL Rahul's book and toss the coin with his left hand, which is what he did uh, in what I think it was a South Africa tour, right, where KL Rahul was a standing captain and he had to do the toss, and he finally did one with his left hand and ended up winning that toss. So something like that is necessary at this point because dew will be a decisive factor. Kolkata as well, you saw so much dew coming in. The groundsmen at every break, every little opportunity that they got, they brought in the ropes and managed the dew well. But at the same time, Mumbai is a completely different matter because it's right next to the sea. It's humid, it's hot. Dew will be a massive decisive factor.
Okay, so before I let you go, final question: what is it likely? I mean, what's the hunch like? India versus England. India still not peaked. England, not really in terms of the matches that we have seen. Will Jacks coming to the rescue, lower order coming to the rescue. England also is a team that has not peaked. Joss Butler not in form. The batting not in form, except Harry Brook one game, Phil Salt one game, Tom Banton one game. So both teams kind of not really 100% as they play a semi-final, but both have depth, and that's why they've made it thus far. What's your hunch like? I mean, what is it? Because this will be a huge high pressure game.
100%. I think still, if you look back on India's game in Chennai at the Chepauk, you had a very collective performance. And I think that's been something that's missing from the England camp. Uh, yes, England has somewhat peaked, but both the teams, if you really look at them, they've not shown, apart from the Chepauk game. Chepauk game is something where India got everything absolutely pitch perfect. But on the other hand, last game was all Sanju Samson magic playing through all 20 overs, and the incredible kind of temperament that we saw from Sanju will be once again very important for this semi-final as well. You need one of those batters to try and bat out 20 overs. But again, my hunch says that it's India's game to lose.
So Gargi Raut says India's game to lose. Gargi, thank you very much for joining me. Go ahead, and enjoy the Indian practice and come back to us with lots more as to what exactly is happening. And then, like I said to Shomik, I will look forward to catching up with you soon. So there's Gargi Raut, as you can see. Uh, Lots of ground reportage happening. This is a massive high pressure game. Now let me kind of, my voice is not that best because I've got a bit of a congestion. So I'm speaking a little softly. Hopefully you guys have ample clarity on what I'm saying, and I'm not going to be able to prolong this show for too long today because, as I said, I'm not really well. Plus tomorrow is travel day for me again. Let me set up the first semi-final first. West Indies, India in that wicket told me something that 200 is chaseable. I think South Africa and New Zealand have been the two best teams in the tournament. Obviously, England has record, India has record, but New Zealand and South Africa are the two best teams in the tournament. South Africa number one, and New Zealand for me so far has been number two. India has been maybe number three alongside England. New Zealand is a solid side. Every time they play in an ICC tournament, they punch above their weight. Every time South Africa has turned up for this particular tournament, they have looked unbeatable. So when I compare the South Africa versus New Zealand thing at the Eden Gardens, I see a very close game. I see dew impacting it. I see Kolkata, the evening dew from 7:30, there will be dew. So whichever team wins the toss will want to bowl first and get it out of the way. 200 is chaseable at the Eden Gardens. You saw India do it. You might just see South Africa or New Zealand, both of these people do it as well. There is no question. There is no question that you will see that being chased down. Vicky, I think you have asked this question a million times, so let me answer this. Why not Riddhiman Saha invited in your conclave? You should forget the past and try and move forward. I will. Believe me, I will. Get me an unconditional apology from Riddhiman Saha, and it's not for me. Someone who can damage my 8-year-old daughter, someone who can damage my 75 10-year-old mother, such a person is a disgusting human being. So the least I can ask for, it's not about me, someone who has lied through his teeth, not one, many lies. You get me an unconditional written apology, and I will invite him to the conclave and do him a one-on-one session with him. And again, I am happy to interview him in any forum. All I need is he needs to answer some of my questions because he'll run away. So I hope, Vicky, I wanted to answer. I want because you've asked me that question a million times. I wanted to give you the question. Get me an unconditional apology for the damage that has been done to my family, the 2 years of my career that were taken away from me. It is not about forgetting and moving on. The humiliation, the stigma, the trauma, the pain, the monetary loss, the lack of credit, the prestige lost, the company getting harmed, the monetary. I've lost crores. All of this surmount. So let's be clear and have perspective here. Get me an unconditional apology, and I will happily. People make mistakes. Divan Saha made not one but multiple mistakes of lying about me and my family and harming them. Let him come forward and have some courage. He doesn't have the courage. He's run away. So get me that. And if you don't have the thing to get me that, shut up, because I would want to focus on my show and not want to digress and talk about nonsense. So just shut up. Coming back to the Eden Gardens, people are asking me who will cover. Multiple people will cover the Calcutta game. There will be Rahul Giri, there will be Mohor Chaudhary, there will be Shourjani Chatterjee, there will be at least four reporters, Snehashish Mukherjee, there will be four reporters from Red Sports who will be covering the Calcutta semi-final. But my hunch is South Africa start better. South Africa start better as the favorite team. Having said that, South Africa start better as the favorite team. Having said that, I do think New Zealand can punch off their above their weight. Look at that South Africa side. Aiden Markram, Ryan Rickleton, Quinton de Kock, Devald Brevis, Tristan Stubbs. Bloody hell, incredible batting lineup. And look at that lower order with a Marco Janssen, a Corbin Bosch. I mean, each one of these chaps have the ability to hit and hit big, plus play the big shots. Eden Gardens, relatively small ground, terrific team. Absolutely terrific team, South Africa. And that bowling attack, Akeshav Maharaj with his left arm spin, Kagiso Rabada, Lungi Ngidi's lower balls have been a tremendous thing. Plus, of course, the left arm of Marco Janssen and Corbin Bosch, who all of them bowl 140 plus. So South Africa, brilliant. Yesterday, I bumped into a number of New Zealand players at the ITC Shonar. I had gone there for a conclave meeting of mine. I met Rachin Ravindra and Daryl Mitchell briefly. They are staying at the ITC Shonar. New Zealand also looks very relaxed. Again, a side that has forever punched above its weight. And again, it's a very good side. Even in the series against India, we saw that multiple times. They've pushed India. They've got bowling depth. You saw in that match against Sri Lanka, 6 down for 86, and the comeback 170 along with Mitchell Santner and McConchy. You don't take such a team, even 99%. That's a gun team. That's a bloody gun team. I mean, Oh boy, New Zealand versus South Africa will be some game at the Eden Gardens. I mean, we called India, Pakistan, and India, South Africa big games. India, South Africa final before the final. This is as much. This is as much a final before the final, and make no mistake about it at all. Absolutely a final before the final. So to choose, I will say South Africa. South Africa tad ahead. Yes, New Zealand player Saurabh Kumar, very explosive. Finn Allen, no doubt, no doubt. This is a gun team, and even Rachin Ravindra, the middle order, Glenn Phillips, Darren Mitchell, the way these fellows can just explode. The lower middle order, they are terrific. But South Africa, I just think South Africa are a tad ahead because of the bowling depth in that South African side. They are a tad ahead as far as I'm concerned. Onnesh Chakraborty, it is an invites only. Write to us at the Rev Sports email, and we will give the public and fans at large some seats, because as you can understand, it's massively in demand. It is an invites only event. But write to us at the revsports21 at gmail.com email, and we will try and consider towards the end and try and get you there. Tomorrow, there will be at least about 50,000 people at the Eden Gardens. At least 50,000 people at the Eden Gardens for the semi-final. In fact, tonight, there is already a clamor. Today is Dole in Kolkata, which is the Bengali equivalent of Holi. So the city is in holiday mode, and even that holiday mode hasn't deterred people from queuing up at the Eden Gardens, because both teams are practicing today, and you will expect a serious turnout at the Eden Gardens. So you must understand, that's Kolkata for you. The Kolkata crowd will turn up in big numbers for a massive semi-final. They've even backed a West Indies Italy or an England Italy, and Kolkata has been a standout venue as far as this World Cup is concerned. The India West Indies, the atmosphere, I have to tell you this, was absolutely mind blowing. Absolutely mind blowing. So these are maximum this thing, uh, absolutely important. Absolutely this, and one has to recognize these things. One has to recognize these things, that how can you one has to recognize these things, that how can you not give a venue, celebrate a venue like this for what it's done, because those matches, West Indies versus those matches, were not really matches that Kolkata needed to back in these numbers, but we did. So Eden Gardens, absolutely electric atmosphere is the truth. Coming back to India, England versus India, I somehow think India is going to win this one. I think India is ahead. I think Wankhede Stadium, Surya Kumar Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah, there's no law of averages. There is no real law of averages for Jasprit Bumrah. The man can turn up in any venue in any part of the world and do the job. The man is just a genius. Except that last over in that match against the West Indies, even then, Jasprit Bumrah was able to do the job with panache. Those two wickets considerably pushed West Indies back. He is a freak. Whoever says this, introspect, he is a freak. That's absolutely the right word. Absolutely the right word. Uh, there's no question. Absolutely the right word. Somebody says, are you worried about India's bowling? Not really, because Arshdeep Singh, in that virtual quarterfinal also, Arshdeep Singh conceded 24 runs in 1 over, his third, and then came back and bowled a last over which conceded, I think, 5 or 6. That, according to me, is what character is all about, and that showed character, that showed mettle, that showed heart, that showed resilience, and that's why I think Arshdeep Singh, Varun, Jasprit, Hardik, these fellows are big boys. These are big players. Aksar, I don't think the Indian bowling is to be worried about. Ambuj Singh had asked me this. Anshu, standing in front of Howrah Bridge, very near to Eden Gardens, scenic view. You can actually see the Howrah Bridge from my terrace, Anshu. In an old house, one of those houses, you can right see through Calcutta. Introspect, New Zealand will be a great match. Looking stronger, South Africa. I agree. I absolutely agree. How can I attend the conclave? I've said that. How's the crowd for New Zealand, South Africa? Ask Priyanshu, as I said. It'll be a massive crowd. RCB will have 5 games at Chinnaswamy, 2 games as Raipur. Who's bothered about RCB, 2 days before a World Cup semi-final, my friend? Let's bother about RCB next week. Let's bother about RCB. But I know Venkatesh Prasad is doing everything he possibly can. Since taking over, Venkatesh Prasad, Anil Kumble, all of these people have done everything they possibly can to get cricket back at the Chinnaswamy. They will leave no stone unturned. And it's It's only fair that Chinnaswamy, every step is taken and to put things back in order. Every kind of precaution is taken, and games go back. So Venkatesh Prasad will be at the Trailblazers conclave, by the way, and we will ask these questions of Venkatesh Prasad as well. So that's the answer to that. Uh, Adil Rashid, Saurav Kumar, good question. Good question. Adil Rashid is going to be a threat. Adil Rashid, especially the wrong one, especially the wrong one, and especially what the ball from the back of the hand, the ball that comes inside, it's beautifully hidden or camouflaged, beautifully done. I mean, it is impossible to read it, impossible to understand it from the hand. Adil Rashid has been a real handful. He's varying the pace very, very well. I mean, the slower balls. I don't know how the Wankhede wicket will be. Shomik was saying, Gargi was saying it will be a good wicket. But Rashid is a real good bowler. People don't mention Rashid that much. He kind of flies under the radar, much like an Adam Zampa. But Adil Rashid is a top quality performer. Look at the longevity. The man has been around for the longest time. Look at the longevity of that man. He's a serious act, boss. I mean, he's a serious act. Except the Rashid. When I take a look at that England attack, Jofra and Rashid, Sam Curran, Jamie Overton, Will Jacks, these people, according to me, are no threat. You know, India should attack a Sam Curran on a good Wankhede deck, should attack a Jamie Overton, should attack a Will Jacks, should attack a Jacob Bethel if he comes and bowls left arm spin. That's where India's chances will be. And when I see that England attack, if I see Jofra gone or Jofra done, and to an extent Adil Rashid, I don't really think India will be worried. But the truth is, this match will not be defined by skill or by potential. This match will be defined by who handles pressure better. Match will be decided by who wants to soak in that moment, who takes their catches, who takes that freakish run out, or who manages that freakish run out, who takes pressure as privilege, who says that playing for the national team is a privilege, and who kind of make it stand out. And that's the most important thing as far as I'm concerned. I'll end the show here, but plenty of coverage coming your way. Plenty of coverage. 5, 6 people in Mumbai from ground reports, multiple people in Calcutta for tomorrow's game. It will be a massive moment. Massive moment come Thursday. Also tomorrow, huge stakes for the first semi-final. All the coverage on Rev Sports. Keep following us. Keep backing us for the coverage, because a lot of hard work goes into it. And Vicky, I hope you got your answer. You didn't answer that up. Answer me after that. If you were trying to get under my skin or needle, I'm past those stages, and I'm very clear as to what I want. So when you ask a question and you get an answer, you should have the courage at least to come back and say, oh, you know what, you are right, and understand and accept what you were trying to do. So let's end the show here. As I said, I will travel to Mumbai myself tomorrow by the afternoon flight. And will be at the Wankhede along with my team, Shubhayan, Rohit Juglan, Gargi Raut, and Shomik Chakraborty. All of them are in Mumbai. Unfortunately, Ashok Nambudri couldn't come to Mumbai because flight operations in Dubai are still suspended, and unfortunately, he couldn't come there. And the flight cancellations resulted in. So we lost money. We lost money in hotel bookings. We lost money there as well. But such is life. You can't say or do anything about it. But that's about it. We will give you maximum details, maximum coverage. India practice from 6 p.m. Shubhan Chakraborty, Gargi Rao, Devashish Sen, Rohit Juglan will bring you all the updates, including the live updates or what's going on in the practice session. Thank you very much for watching.